back, guys. It's Pete from Floodlight here, giving you some more hints and tips about opening your own small business in the hospitality industry. So we've seen the introduction and we've set out our stall in terms of how I want to help you guys realize your dream of opening that cafe, owning that bar, making the move on your own. Maybe you're a bartender, maybe you're a barista or a manager, and you're like me, like I was, tired of working for other people, seeing your hard work going into someone else's back pocket, and you're kind of feeling, hey, you know, I've got a couple of buddies, maybe it's myself, maybe it's a family thing. I want to strike out on my own. What are the things I can do? Pete, what tips have you got for me? Well, guys, obviously the first thing that you want to consider is a suitable site. You want to look for what is going to fit your business model. So if you want to open a brewery, you're going to need somewhere with a lot of drainage, a lot of water, a lot of area, a lot of height for tanks, that kind of thing. If you're opening a cafe, on the other hand, you've got a hell of a lot more freedom. There's a lot more size to play with. We've all seen these little tiny weeny hole in the wall places, right through to giant cafes and restaurants with a couple of hundred seats. It really does depend on what you want to do and what your budget is as well. If this is your first small business, chances are you're not going to be going for a 100-seater cafe restaurant. You're going to be looking at something a bit smaller. In my case, it was a small bar, and when I looked at the figures and what is available for me in terms of startup finances, the decision was made to look in the suburb of Redfern in Sydney. Now obviously this is going to depend on where you guys are, but look at your budget. That's going to influence the suburbs and the areas where you want to operate. Be realistic, guys. There might be areas of where you live that you really want to get into, but if your budget doesn't cut it and you're not going to be able to afford the lease on the place, the rent on the place, the equipment and the stock, chances are you're going to have to maybe look somewhere else. But hey, that's up to you. It might make you go back to the drawing board and reassess your time frame for setting up. Maybe you might want to take another 6 months or another year, see if you can get some more finances. But this is about your dream, guys, and you know, we'll focus on helping you. So let's say you've found your dream spot, you've been walking around, you've been asking a few friends, and you've found what you think is a good site. The first thing you're going to want to look at is a combination of speaking to the landlord if you are leasing. Again, you might have a huge disposable income and be able to buy your first site, but more than likely you're going to want to speak to the landlord. So first things first is finding out whether they actually want you in that spot. Landlords can be quite cagey, and it is, after all, a business transaction, so have a chat, see what terms you can get. A lot of commercial landlords will give you a couple of months free rent, which might seem like a great deal for you, but bear in mind you're going to have the time to actually build the place, build your cafe or build your bar or build your restaurant. If you're doing it yourself, or even if you've got a couple of friends helping it, that's going to equate to time. So be realistic, guys. You might think, yeah, a couple of months rent free is going to be great, but if you're just building and the place is full of rubble, it does mean that before you know it, you'll be paying rent, and if you're not open and trading, that is a potential pitfall. Second group of people to consider, other than your customers, and we'll come to that in just a second, is the council, the local council, local chamber of commerce, local business groups. Is there a saturation of bars in the area? You'll need to speak to them, you'll need to find out. I know of at least 3 businesses that have really been stung. One had to put a wheelchair lift into a premises that was ready to open. It was another $15,000 on their budget. Another premises I know of had to install a shower into a restaurant. These are the crazy things that councils will have you do. You've got to speak to them before you spend any money, guys. It's absolutely imperative you have a chat. I'll be straight with you as well. It can sometimes be a hard slog because they don't like giving you a straight answer. possibly because they don't want to be left open to proceedings later down the track if there is an issue, but you've just got to do the homework yourselves. It's a slog, but hey, at the end of the day, you get the answer you want, you save the money, you avoid getting burnt, and we arrive at that destination, which is having your own small business. So the third party to consider, guys, is obviously your customers. You can have the best bar in the world or the best cafe in the world serving absolutely fantastic dishes, but if you don't have the demographic in the area who have the money to come and buy your coffee, buy your cocktails, whatever, you're gonna suffer. So go and have a look at local businesses, ask other local businesses, walk around, spend a bit of time in the area. I think we spent about 3 months in the area before we even picked a site, just getting a feel for the place. It's, again, guys, invest the time in your dream. Instead of just throwing money at the problem, you are far less likely to get caught out, and the experience and gaining people's knowledge and trust, other business owners and operators in the area. Maybe you'll find good suppliers. It's well worth doing your homework. Anyway, guys, that's about it from me for this quick video. Don't forget to like or subscribe, hit that like button, and more importantly, guys, what would you do differently? What have I missed? Give me your questions, we'll fire it up for the next video. Until now, this has been Pete from Floodlight. All the best, we'll see you soon, good luck.